So today we are going to study about transportation, and then we are going to study about 6.4.1, that is transportation in human beings. Now before we start transportation in human beings, let me tell you about something, why transportation is important. And already we have discussed in the overview that organism take the food from the outside sources, or they prepare the food. So if we talk about plants, uh, they prepare the food by using carbon dioxide and water. Now water has to be transported, and you have already learned in 9th class that it has to be transported through the xylem vessels. So transportation is important in plants also. And when we talk about transportation in human beings or transportation in animals, we know that carbon dioxide has to be transported, the food which is digested and absorbed has to be transported, the water which is also to be transported, then the waste materials other than carbon dioxide, like urea and all the other waste substances, also has to be transported to the different places where they can be removed out of the body. So transportation is a very important aspect and a very important metabolic process of an organism, and a very important life process of an organism. So we are going to study about transportation in human beings. So we are going to study about uh, uh, circulatory system in human beings. So circulatory system in human beings. Okay, so this is given, I think, on page number 106 of your NCRT. So you can read also the NCRT and consult your NCRT. So what are the things which are present in circulatory system in human beings? So the first thing is the heart, which is a very important organ, and it is also called as a pump. It is the pumping organ which pumps the blood. Now blood is a fluid connective tissue, as you have already studied in class 9th, that blood transport many substances from one place to another place, and it is having basically two components. The fluid part of the blood is called as the plasma, and then we have the formed element. The formed elements are called as the blood cells. So this is the fluid part, and then cells. Now we have already studied about that there are three types of cells are there, namely RBC, which mainly transport oxygen, which contain hemoglobin and which transport oxygen, and then we have WBC cells, and they provide immunity to our body, they fight against germs. And then we have platelets, and they help in blood clotting. We'll be studying about more about platelets in the next part of the chapter. One, heart. So circulatory system includes heart, blood, and blood is divided into two parts, that is, I told you, plasma and the formed element, that is the blood cells. Now all the different types of blood cells I have told you. Now let us little bit discuss about the fluid part of the blood, that is called as the plasma. Now plasma, as we know that plasma is the fluid part of the blood, and it contains a lot of things. It contains water, basically it contains water, it contains enzymes, it contains proteins, It contains clotting factors. It contains nutrients. It contains wastes. So it contains different substances, and these substances are transported from one place to another place. So as we know that blood is called as the fluid connective tissue, and this is why, because blood is called as a fluid connective tissue, because transport various substances from one body part to another body part. And then the third component of the circulatory system is blood vessels. Now blood vessels are the pipelines, or we can say the tube-like structure or tubular structures, tube-like structures, which is actually transporting the blood. Like we can simply compare this with our water pumping system in our home. We have the pump, that is the water pump is there, and then we have pipelines, and then like the blood vessels are like the pipelines, and then we have the water flowing in the pipelines. Like that, we have the blood is flowing in these pipelines, and these pipelines are called as blood vessels. Now basically there are three types of blood vessels, because their structure and functions are different. So first one are called as arteries, and which carry the blood away from the heart, and then we have the second one, which is called as the vein, which brings the blood back to the heart, and then we have capillaries, which helps in exchange of substances between the blood and different body parts. So these are three different types of blood vessels which transport the blood throughout the body, and then we are going to study about them in detail in the next part of the chapter. Now we are going to study about heart, which is our pumping organ. Okay, so as you know that in our homes also we have a water pump, which pump the water from the ground to the tank. So here in our body also, heart is a pump which pumps the blood into the different parts of the body. Now we will study about our heart, and we are going to study about the structure. Now a little bit about the structure we are going to study about, and then we are going to study about how the heart pumps the blood. So we are going to study about circulation of blood in our body. So first we will start with the structure. Now let us discuss about the structure of the heart. Now as you have learnt in your 9th class that the heart is a muscular organ, and it is made up of cardiac muscles, and you have studied about these muscles. The speciality of these muscles is that they rhythmically contract and relax throughout their life. So that is the speciality of these muscles. Now all the muscles does not contract and relax throughout the life, but the heart muscles continuously do the work. And then we know that our heart is having 4 chambers. So there are upper 2 chambers, and there are lower 2 chambers are there. So upper 2 chambers are called as auricles or atria. Singular is atrium, and the lower chambers are called as ventricles. Okay, so the upper ones are called as atria or auricles, and the lower ones are called as ventricles. Now if we talk about the auricles have thin muscles, thinner muscles as compared to the ventricles. Ventricles have thick muscles. Now why they are like that I am going to tell you afterwards. When you are going to study the circulation, then you will understand. So auricles have thinner muscles and ventricles have thick muscles. Now the upper ones are called as auricles. Already I have told you, and the ventricles are there, so 4 chambers are there. So our heart is divided into, first thing is divided into two parts, the left part and the right part. So the upper one is the right auricle and the down one is the right ventricle, and the upper one here is the left auricle and the down one is the left ventricle. Now if I show you the picture of our heart, you can see here, you can see we have these 4 chambers are there. You can see right auricle, you can see here we have right auricle, then this is the left auricle, and then we have right ventricle, and then we have left ventricle. Okay, and these are chambers, and then you can see a septum is there. This is the septum. My cursor is moving, you can see this is a septum which separate the left auricle from right auricle, and there is a septum which separate right ventricle from the left ventricle. Okay, so a septum is present which separates the ventricles from them. So a septum is there in the heart. Okay, in your NCERT textbook also there is labeling is there of the septum. It is actually dividing the left side from right side. Now you can note one more thing here, is that you can see the right side having blue color and the left side is having red color. Okay, so what is this red and blue means? Now red and blue means, here you can see here oxygen poor blood is given here. I call it as deoxygenated blood, means without having more oxygen, means poor in oxygen. And the red color blood you can see here, it is mentioned here as oxygen rich blood or oxygenated blood, OP. Okay, now the blood is having red color. Blood does not have a blue color or any other color. Blood is having red color only. But for simply our understanding, for the sake of understanding, we have designed or designated the colors to the left and right side to differentiate between the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. So these are this is about the structure of our heart.